Hi friends, hope you're well. Today we'll do a screencast to explain how to remove password from Windows 7, Vista or XP when forgotten, as it can happen in family, with friends or for you. Stay tuned for the guide on unlocking your Windows computer without the need for a password reset disk. It is possible that a memory lapse makes you forget your password, and rather than backing up everything, reinstalling everything and starting from scratch, there is a very simple technique that uses a small utility tool called Offline Anti-Password Registry Editor that I mentioned on the blog in September 2004, if I'm not mistaken, and which actually allows, simply from a bootable USB key or a bootable CD or a floppy disk, simply to start on it and to bypass this password, to simply remove it and to regain normal access to his computer, and then, if you wish, to set a password to which you will pay a little more attention. The utility we will need, Offline Anti-Password and Registry Editor, is available at the address displayed on your screens in this video. And because it's more convenient, I'd settle for using the version burned on a CD in these examples. Try by visiting the website to see the recommended method for the USB key or floppy disk suggested by them. I merely download the ISO provided on the website and then proceed to burn it using any commercially available software. It would be highly advantageous to do it on a DVD or a CD, and I do not forget specifically to make the modification in the BIOS so that my computer initiates on the pertinent device, that is, on the CD-ROM drive in my particular situation. I reboot, and here we go. I rebooted, we meet on the utility in question. We have numerous options at boot actually, so most of the time you simply need to press enter, that is to say enter in order to start on the default version, which will automatically load the drivers for your disk. Alternatively, you have a few more options available if you encounter minor RQ conflicts or if you wish to deactivate USB ports or similar features. But while in general there is no issue, simply press enter and it will load the small Unix, the small Linux operating system that is running in the background. So here, what we observe here is an initial scan of the disks you possess. So there, for me, it's simple, that is to say, I have only one partition on a single disk, the basic thing, really basic. You have the ability to create multiple partitions, such as dev-sda1, sda2, sdb1, sdb2, and so on, depending on your specific requirements and system configuration. So do not panic, you have options to handle them. You can either mount the disks with specific drivers if they are unfamiliar, or simply choose a partition, typically named boot or Windows. Even if you make a mistake, it is not very serious. You can try again because the utility will scan the partitions and detect system32 directories, which are specific to Windows, so you cannot go wrong. It depends on your situation. For example, if you have multiple Windows installations on different partitions, you can actually choose one or the other without any issues. Take your time and follow the appropriate steps to ensure a successful outcome. You can also, if you really want to be absolutely sure, restart. Finally, try to remember, because you will not have access to it, but try to remember what your partitions are in terms of size for the main Windows partition and compare it to the size that is proposed here in megabytes. That is all we need to cover. I believe we have covered everything that is necessary. So here, the partition I have to choose is number 1. Anyway, it's the only one. I'll go with 1. So it scans the partition, as I told you, to find the Windows directory, the system32 directory, the config directory, etc. And he suggests that I confirm that it is indeed in there that the base registry directory is located, because the utility also allows editing the registry. It's not the functionality we're going to use here, but we can also edit the registry via command line. It can be useful for other small things. So here I just press enter. You'll see it's really very simple. We just press enter. So there it scanned the partition. So it's good. It's confirmed open, let's say. It confirmed that it's a valid partition with Windows data. So here I have a choice actually. In option 1 I can do a reset, which means resetting the password on something called SAM. In fact, SAM is the container, the kind of encrypted memory that contains the system passwords. Option 2 is intended for the recovery console, so we do not require that, we will not delve into it. Thus we will concentrate on option 1 to reset our password. At present it is informing me that it is functioning properly, it successfully loaded the SAM. Consequently, I am presented with multiple choices. In order to operate, the utility utilizes a tool known as HNTPW. It is a utility that can be found on all Linux distributions. On Ubuntu you can also install it, and you can also perform your manipulations very effectively under Ubuntu. With this knowledge it becomes slightly easier to have this tool permanently stored on a CD within its toolbox and avoid the need for further searching. So this is the location for option 9. It is the second choice where we have the register editor feature. So we don't need this, it's for editing based on registers. What interests us is option number 1, which will allow editing user data and passwords. So one thing I didn't mention either is that we are using an American keyboard. So the number 1 is equivalent to the number 1, but it does not require capitalization in order to represent it. There are other small things like that as well, I will explain to you later. Here, after we have chosen the password change option, ultimately for modifying user data and passwords, we observe the list of user accounts that exist on the machine. So here we have an administrative user account, and we have my account Korben, the last one here, whose password I unfortunately forgot. Here it's simple, sets admin by default, won't change admin password, going to change password of my Korben account, so I just type Korben. Yes, on an American keyboard you need to know that A becomes Q and Q becomes A, Z becomes W, and vice versa. You will need to tinker a bit. If you're not used to the US keyboard you'll have to tinker a bit, but well, it's not too serious. So I choose my own username, there you go, and there I have multiple options. So well, he sends me some statistics, that is to say, he informs me that I made 5 consecutive incorrect password entries. Well, very well, I have multiple options here. So one of them is the one that will be of interest to us, which is to delete the password completely, and the other option is to set a different password. I have tested this option and it does not work on XP, Vista or Windows 7, so it is not worth attempting. I believe Microsoft made updates a significant amount of time ago, which hampers the ability to easily change the password. So cleaning it, emptying it, that will be sufficient. Then we have option number 3, which provides the capability to upgrade a regular account to an administrator account, if desired. So it's convenient if you need to install things as an administrator and you don't have the access, and the administrator is not available at the moment and you don't have it at hand. You can give yourself admin rights on the machine. And the fourth option allows to unlock an account that is blocked for various reasons, either because the administrator has decided to block it, or because the password has expired and has not been changed in time, or for different reasons. It depends on the machine administration policy. Our focus is on the clear blank user password, specifically the initial one, which effectively empties the password and transforms it into a blank password, an empty password, with no characters or content. I will simply input option number 1 in order to clean this password and ensure its security and integrity. I received a message stating that the password has been successfully cleaned, password cleared. Now I just need to exit the software. So I press the exclamation point. Be careful with the American keyboard, it's not the same for all keyboards. In this place there is no exclamation point. After that I proceed to option Q, which provides me with the ability to simply quit without any complications or difficulties. And now I'm asked if I want to save the SAM, which is the memory that contains the passwords. So in this case I simply type Y to indicate yes, confirming the backup, and then I am asked again if I would like to attempt making any additional modifications or performing other tasks of that nature. Now I say no, all that's left is to eject the CD, restart the computer and reboot the system. And there you go, computer is rebooting. Didn't mention, but you just need to specify in BIOS to restart from hard drive, not CD, to avoid any problems. And here we go, we start directly on Windows. On computers where I had tested, you still had to reach the login screen and simply press enter to be able to log in. But well, apparently without a password we can directly access the computer. Here, I hope this little screencast has been helpful to you. And then I will see you very soon on the blog. Let's go. Farewell to all of you.